Are we lit properly? Can we solve brain rot? Brain rot into brain repair as we pregame work with more work. Is that counterintuitive? No, it's intuitive because we're pre-gaming the game by playing the game where we're similar to brain chemical, where we chemical our brain with alcohol before we alcohol our brain, which we no longer do. So that's why we're gaming our pregame to do what? To be less brain rot, more winning, more brain repair, fixing our brain rot, fixing our bank account. Hi, I'm Larry Chang. What we're doing is amazing, which is what? We're doing something amazing called what they don't teach you in business school. What they don't teach you in school, dumbed down. How's it dumbed down? It's dumbed down because today is November 10, and we're not just going to do brain rot. What's brain rot? It's a YouTube live or Insta live or some kind of live where what happens? Our brains get put on hostage mode. Am I exaggerating when I say our brains are getting taken over? Not an exaggeration when I'm saying our brains are getting taken over. Are you going to experience Stockholm Syndrome? I would imagine that would be possible. Ali Ala Zahani has said hi. Yo, bro. Good to see you. Good to see you. Ask me a question related to what I've talked about. That's why you're timed out, because you probably might be a robot. Was that harsh? No, this is the topic of the video, which is brain repair into brain improvement. Brain rot. What I see going on kind of everywhere, which is a YouTube live where you're watching somebody shoot baskets. You're watching somebody go bowling. Larry, I don't know the question. I am 7 years old. Thank you for joining. And what the F? Okay? What the F is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? If you're going to be under 21, under 22, or under 23 and would like to come learn about brain rot and brain repair, stop sounding like a retard, right? No more retardedness. No more pretending to be an adult pretending to be a kid, pretending to not be a robot. Because what we're doing, hello, hey, what a terrifically well thought out comment. Prove to me you're not a robot. I pin you. I'm also putting you in timeout. Come back better. Come back not brain rotting your brain. Come back listening to what we're talking about as we solve the problem of this video, which is your brain's rotting because you're arguing with robots, being talked to like you're a robot. We're doing just human to human. We're doing brain repair. Hey, after we do this brain repair, and after I come out of timeout, am I going to get better? Yeah. Am I going to get a better brain? Yeah. Am I going to get a better bank account? Yeah. Wait a minute. Is this some financial scheme? Oh no. This is one human talking to another human before work. Are we pre-gaming work with a sunrise video? We are. If your brain comes into this video average, then realize you can quietly listen and take paper notes. And you can see people that chimed in for a long spam comment get put in timeout and then say, this human is so rude. It's not rudeness, it's accountability. It's not rudeness, it's brain rot, brain repair. Today is November 10. Is your brain rotting here on Web 2? The way you can prove to me that you're a human that is not default NPC, non-player character, is not to just subscribe or like because that benefits me. We're here to benefit you. Can you hear one thing that I've said and tell me what I said? Brain rot, brain repair. This is the easiest human-to-human interaction ever, and it's also your first Chinese friend. What is a Chinese friend? It's, if you're not going to listen to me, I'm going to be a dick. If you're not listening, you're hurting yourself. Prove to me you're not an NPC. Can you tell we're going to have a good time? Because we're going to bullet point brain repair from default brain rotting. Uh-oh. 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 You're a robot. A sex robot. A robot talking about sex. Simplest question, which is, what have I talked about that you have heard? This is no longer brain rot. This is brain repair. So, what have I talked about as a human in America that you can apply, or what did you hear? It's a simple question, which is, what have I said that is impactful? Today is day number 10 of the... Good job. Good job. It was that easy. Good job. You survived a timeout. What we're doing is moving forward in time, repairing our own brain as we watch me undo the brain rot from other people, So that's also scary. This is why people have 9 levels of anxiety. Tom Brady has friends who are dogs. Tom Brady has friends who are dogs. Sometimes they say, the owner will say, "Oh, my dog has anxiety because you just said you made me scared." By scaring you temporarily in a good way, now your brain is wired correctly, which is, OMG, I could get yelled at here on YouTube. OMG, I can actually have a real world simulated consequence, which is this simulation. If we're having a real world conversation and I'm talking, albeit a lot, but this is a monologue after all. So if you're a dick or you're watching your phone while you watch TV as you half listen to me, that's a brain rot friend who's hooked on porn, smoking weed, and addicted to video games. And it's okay if your brain is rotting from 2 of the 3 things. What we're going to do here is brain repair. And you did a good job, Billy. Now we're friends. You used to be scared. Now how do you feel? That's a question, NPC. That's a question. Now how do you feel? Obviously, you're not liking very much. Do you need another timeout? Is that going to help? Oh, there you are. Oh, welcome back. Welcome back, AAZ. Welcome back, AAZ. I am not going to put you in timeout. Do you know why? Because you are a robot. You are a robot. You are a robot. And now you're an angry robot. You can unsubscribe. That doesn't hurt. That hurts one person. That hurts one person. That hurts one person. In fact, thank you for watching actively while unsubscribing as a non-player character. The goal of this video is not to gain likes or subscribers. This video is meant to make new best friends. YouTube content creators. This is the bane of YouTube, which is sucking you into watching one video that then leads to 50 more videos. This is why solo purpose channels tend to get distributed, because they're trying to suck you into one rabbit hole on one topic that's incredibly brain rotty. Whereas what we're doing here is what Pusherman's talking about. I thought we didn't like the robots. That's from yesterday's lesson. Good job. A plus, buddy. We don't like the robots. But what we're watching is the default robot nature of a non-player character. That's brain repair from brain rot. And do you see how guys do not trust him? What you're saying is not ludicrous. It's saying that your brain got stuck on sins of the mother. What are sins of the mother? And am I quoting a book that is yet to be published to gain your trust? I am. It's a book called, right off the script, OMG, this script is amazing. A timeless book called The Road Less Traveled. The Road Less Traveled. Where life, it's hard. Whereas YouTube content creators that make you think as if you're thinking, that's not necessarily not to be trusted, but that makes the hard road not hard. We're in a lifetime where it's the most challenging. Granted, right now, it's the easy mode. And yeah, the economy isn't great, but it's about to get much worse. It's about to get much worse. This is the most positive video of the doomsayers because this isn't a doom video. This is positive. It's brain rot into brain repair. Trust M. Scott Pleck, The Road Less Traveled. First sentence, first portion is so you're acting exactly like you're acting exactly like that. You're acting exactly like that. And Jace is a tremendously spot on question, which is who doesn't love themselves? Not as if you're loving, put a pin in that. So, M. Scott Pleck, right on script for you. Life is hard, but you've been sold that YouTube and money should be easy. And what has that gotten you? It's gotten you screwed, okay? It's gotten you screwed. Nobody knows what DQOQ is, okay? Nobody knows what that is. I trust the snake from the Jungle Book. Oh my god, that's hilarious. That's hilarious. What? I don't trust anyone who decides to stream himself as if people need to fear him. So, the fear, we'll put a pin that too as we pin that message. Oh, we're about to be amazing. Pusherman, don't read the comments profusely. Focus on brain repair, brain rot. M. Scott Pleck for a third effort. Can you guys focus? What you watched just there was my brain avoiding the brain rot of potentially robots because it's dead internet theory. You watched me, one, stay on script. You watched me, two, read comments that were from brains that were broken. Three, you watched me pull my brain out of a tailspin where the comments were meant to emotionally ignite. The comments were made to ruin a monologue. The comments were made to throw me off script. The comments were made to, engineered specifically and said to, make me lose my train of thought. That didn't happen because this is a fourth effort to stay on script with M. Scott Pleck, The Road Less Traveled. That is The Road Less Traveled because there were 8 detours and 30 comments that were incendiary. Incendiary is light shit on fire. That's causing a brain repair to happen live time. M. Scott Pleck, The Road Less Traveled, seventh effort. Seventh effort, life is hard. I'm not here to tell you that life is easy. I'm here to repair my brain. You get to watch. As I repair my brain via putting people in timeout that have a astronomical amount of angst, this YouTube Live is going to feel different because I'm not begging for robots commenting, getting robots to subscribe, getting robots to like. I'm connecting human to human in a way that you might take this conversation to a Web 12 level. Why? Or texting, which that's a real phone number that's on my profile, or emailing. Why? Because life is hard, and it's even harder when you've never improved from one YouTube video. M. Scott Pleck, Road Less Travel, ninth effort to stay on script, even though the chat is blowing up. And that is this. Life is hard. Next component, sins of the father. So, that was written in a time that wasn't the matriarchy. When you got raised by a woman and your biological father is putting his penis into 5 to 100 other women, your brain is going to be easier to rot because you're an intended target. Why? That's also your origin story, is your single mom thought that you should get male companionship, male influence, and then that's why you went on that camping trip with that man in male bonding time, and that camping trip, it didn't go the way that you think a kid going with a pseudo stepfather would go, right? Right? So, not M. Scott Pleck, sins of the father, not sins of a stepfather. This is M. Scott Pleck's extrapolated book, which is called Of the Mother. Sins of the Mother. Larry, that sounds genius, and it also sounds so random. What am I even listening to? You're listening to a Chinese guy who is the number one most American in America. I'm not going back to China because, one, I was born here, and two, 3 presidents have told me that I am America's best natural resource. Look at how people named their kid. My 2 parents named me in a way that says, we're not going back, ever. Kind of like a Italian person landing in America in the 1900s. We're not going back. And just like the Godfather, who shot 2 people and then went back to Italy, if I'm shooting people, it's self-defense and I'm staying. You might think that it's tweaking out, but what you now gather is our brain can produce chemical to appear drunk while we do a sunrise video. Do you have enough testosterone? Back on point, sins of the mother. The reason that is so mentally significant is this. This is why this room has no moderation, because sins of the mother. This script is amazing, by the way. And it's amazing because when women have no muzzle and no filter, powerful women who are single moms, they tell us who they are. When people tell you who they are, the way that I'm telling you who I am, you should believe them. And be wary of forces that don't want you to focus on the name of this video, which is brain rot into brain repair. Sins of the mother who was raised by a single mom. Who's raised here by a single mom? Type in what? Type in, if you're not a robot, yes, I was raised by a single mom. Please continue. I'm going to assume 80% raised by a single mom. Why? Because look at the comments. It is right out of central casting. My biological father left. And this is how we're going to repair it. Larry, don't make fun. Larry, don't make fun. Larry, don't make fun of my... Everybody's got a father, Larry. Oh, sure you do. It's not a block, Gothric. It's more like, come back better after your full time out. Your brain's broken. Oh, let's become amazing with nobody admitted that they got raised by a single mom. That is indicative of fake affirmations, faking it till you make it, provably proven to not work. Brain rot. Let's repair it with something completely non sequitur, which will make a lot of sense. Instagram. You think those blondes with giant boobs are rotting your brain. And it's to the point where you don't even get on Instagram anymore. In fact, you even deleted your account. I'm here to tell you that those blondes with giant boobs are more likely to be a millionaire by the end of this video, because there's an abundance mindset because of how many likes explode on her back or her chest or on her face. There's just a like explosion. It's sure meant to be hilarious, but it's also here to check to see if you can laugh at some hilarious content. Because we're here for brain repair. And if you think that women don't connect to this as a human, you're not passing the robot test. You see, we don't want to say, oh, everything that she, who's blonde with giant boobs, everything about her is fake. Just because she has giant boobs does not make them automatically fake. I don't walk around the mall where people come up and stop me and say, yo, hey you, did you get height augmentation? Because you're 6'5". Whereas blonde walking around at a mall, people would be like, everything is fake about you, especially your boobs. And I'm like, Lisa, Heather, Shelby, depending on which one I'm with, why do people constantly talk about your boobs in the fourth topic? This is brain rot where YouTube has given you the confidence to say whatever you want, and then you step into a room with no moderation, and you're like, yay, I can say random stuff like gay cowboy. Because what you're thinking is Brokeback Mountain actually is Brokeback River, Brokeback Ravine, non-broken brain mountain. Did I just make 7 jokes while fixing your brain? Because what we're looking at is sins of the mother. When your mother influences you a little too much, or your dad took off, you could say, we're AI and we're knowing who's gay and who's not. But what we really are doing is reining in the matriarchal influences within this video, which is Sunrise Videoing, pre-gaming work, repairing our brain. Where, why can't you just sit quietly, listen, not type furiously, and get 1% better per minute that you're with me via pen to paper? Because sins of the mother. Because this is what happened. When you got criticized for having too much testosterone, which now you've got less testosterone because of sins of the mother, you're so much like your father, who's now not around to defend himself. Now you're wondering why he took off in the first place. So you can tell people that they need gay therapy, or you can realize that I'm going to solve that problem too for you and for the person that you were mocking. So stop calling each other gay. It's the only kind of sexuality that literally gets pushed onto you, where if it happens to you once, all of a sudden that's your sexuality. What? That's not fair. Oh, did I just explain sins of the mother again? Yes, that's Anderson Cooper's mother, where she did such a bad job with sinning that he had to change his name. Why isn't he Anderson Vanderbilt? Yeah, and that's how you know how his little brother self-deleted was the biggest sins of the mother we've ever seen. So if you're confused about what's going on here, this is content on what they don't teach you in school. This is content from a Chinese guy who's going to be honest with you. Life is hard. M. Scott Pleck, still on point number 2, where the Chinese guy is being honest with you in asking, or more telling, but let's say asking, a 4-year degree. Let's be honest, because life is hard when your brain is rotten. In your current state of brain rot, how many years would it take for you to get a 4-year bachelor's in shitty engineering, aka retarded engineering, aka industrial engineering? I'm not talking about a 4-year degree in computer engineering, computer science, petroleum engineering, chemical engineering, mechanical engineering, or aerospace engineering. Because the answer for that, with the people that slam Elon Musk for landing a rocket and saying, "Why is your rocket so big? Is that because you're making up for having a giant penis?" How many years would it take for you to get a shitty engineering degree like civil engineering? Let's just keep it industrial. Let's keep it industrial. You know that major is complete crap or easy when they call it business engineering, or they call it business engineering respun, which is management science and engineering. And when you say words like glazing or sausage or low-soch gay cowboy, what you're doing is you're embracing your broken brain bad self, not being your bad self the way that Low-Soch says it. I'm talking about embracing your default NPC, because you sound like a black or white person talking shit to a Chinese guy talking shit. Because this shit that I'm talking about, it's genius on 2 levels to 9 levels. Is that race profiling? No, it's more pattern recognition from having to deal with sports athletes that try to talk psychologically operating content that is prototypical, cliche typical, brain rot typical trash talk. Have you guys ever watched a YouTube video and said, "Oh my God, this is AI drivel," or "This is mush," or "This is a pyramid scheme"? You see, this is your brain on YouTube. This is raw. This is, hey, your interior day, the person who set up your lighting, he didn't go to USC Film School. The reason the lighting is set up like this is it used to be pitch black. This is a sunrise video. You can't set a better clock than the sun, because the sun is its own sundial, which is demarcating this question. Can you get 1% better per 10 minutes? Can your brain rot slower? Can you repair your brain at 1% per Larry Chang video? Oh, is he trying to get me to watch 15 videos? No, I'm trying to get you to watch a single digit number of minutes in sequence. And for those of you quietly watching, and dare I say even taking notes, you can see the brain repair occurring, because you're proving to that piece of paper that you're writing on, oh my God, this guy is, his content hits diffy, to use your Low-Soch language. If you haven't taken notes, that's okay. You've been doing a great job quietly listening, and once in a while dipping into the comments that are blowing up. Oh, but Larry, you're getting ratioed. This is your brain on Web 2. What we're doing is we're not getting ratioed. We're getting our brain repaired with Web 12. This script is amazing, by the way, and you're freaking welcome, because the script took into account the fact that not life is hard, because life is easy AF when you've been able to do what I do in 2 months is what other people do in 10 years. Life's on easy mode. YouTube, though, YouTube is on hard mode. Quietly listening, proving to yourself via a written word that your brain is actively in repair. Let's plod forward with this deliciously awesome script. which is the use of timeouts as we use self timeouts, as we focus in a timeout to answer the question, can you sit quietly in a room for 20 minutes? I almost lowered the bar to be 2 minutes because you think that you sat quietly for 2 minutes and it wasn't even a minute. That's why I'm not going to change the brain mental health truth, which is all of men's problems stem from the fact that he cannot sit quietly in a room for 30 minutes. If you're talking like a sex robot, you are a sex robot. By robot of sex, I mean person who constantly talks about their homosexual tendencies as a woman pretending to be a man, pretending to be a woman. So when you say playing race cards, what you're doing is skipping over, hey, if I brain repair my rotten brain, can I also repair my bank account? What a great question to ask yourself, Larry Chang. This is the idea here, where the energy is up, your ire is up, you're finally getting seen as a robot that's trying to escape gravity and the gravitational pull of NPC behavior. What if these things helped repair your bank account? And I'm not talking about finally getting you to be worth $0 because you're currently negative $15,000. That's not the ginormous step that we're going to accomplish. We're going to strive for making a single-digit number of dollars. Why? Because you've watched tens of thousands of hours on YouTube. You've never financially benefited from one. Why am I so invigorated here? This is why. Some random person, we'll call them bullet traders, dropped in some spam. What I thought was spam, but I read everybody's comments. Says, I watched this guy and I made 6 figures. And I'm like, is that true? I put him in the robot timeout, came better out of the timeout, and then got tested with another robot timeout. This is bullet traders. Then, to the chagrin of the entire YouTube chat that was on one of the days within the sequence of days where we can get 1% better while spending $0, we're just reallocating our YouTube attention. We're just reorganizing our YouTube practice. We're just reorganizing our YouTube history into a YouTube playlist. And there you go. See? Like everything is everything I don't like is gay. Or everything I don't like, sins of the mother. Everything I don't like is Nazi. I mean, just get that. Just say that. In fact, this could be one of those situations where it's a woman on YouTube pretending to be a man so that way she doesn't get bullied. This could be one of those situations. The feminization of men's brains causes the brain rot. Why? Because it's just like, hey, sit down, young boy, and pay attention. What that then leads to is a diagnosis of, hey, you're ADD. Was this diagnosis similarly hammered out when I was a little kid? Yes. This is the dynamic where boys are forced to be girls in a sit down in class and don't exhibit any kind of testosterone. It's where men then behave like female robots by saying, hey, you, act more like a woman. Hey, you, act more feminine. And then not saying that specifically, but talking to me as if I'm a woman, which is, why won't you be more seen but not heard? Hello, this is a monologue. Hello, this is YouTube Live. This is now a two-way conversation. This is now a two-way conversation where you're benefiting from brain rot into brain repair via repairing our own bank account after brain repair in one sentence. Watch any video that is from Dan Martell, and while you're watching the video, say, can I take back my time? My God. The reason that's so hilarious is that's the title of his book. And for your repeat viewers, I've never mentioned my mentor and mentee, Dan Martell. That's it. You read that book or watch that video and say, how would a person with no money or negative 15K make $12 off of this video? Now you are no longer below water blowing time. You're now above water because I and you are going to study buddy one Dan Martell video. Oh my God. We just did Web 12. This has been brain rot into brain repair. That's Web 12, where you comment on a Dan Martell video, hey, CC Larry Chang, and then you don't have to worry about liking stuff. You don't have to worry about subscribing. You are just doing Web 12. Hey, Larry, what's Web 12? Web 12 is fixing our broken brain while we fix social media. Hey, Larry, what's broken with social media? Social media is broken because we are pretending to be busy by pretending to not pay attention while we're not pretending to be on two screens. Social media is broken because we don't have a 1% improvement mentality. What's a 1% improvement mentality? It's the 10th time I've mentioned it, which is YouTube content creators that portend, promise, and say, hey, you should be a millionaire. I mean, that kind of goes without saying because it's never been easier because education's free. But they're saying the way to get to $1 million, which now is 600K, get it? Because once you get to 600K, you're a Scottsdale $80,000 millionaire, which is you have $80,000 and now you're calling yourself a millionaire? What? Like just like $600 million? That's not $1 billion. $980 million? That's also not $1 billion. 1,001 millions? That's how to get there. So with 0 to $1 million in a video, but that's diabolically dishonest. And I'm not laughing at other YouTube content creators. Okay, I'm not. It's this. Do you not have any Chinese friends? Because the Chinese friend would say, $1 million? Are you kidding me? Why don't you get rid of your $15,000 in credit card debt? And I'm not talking about $15,000 in credit card debt because you're a billionaire and you put everything on your American Express card and every month you pay $25,000 and then you log in every other Thursday because Larry Chang's my mentor. And then, oh my God, I owe $15,000 because last Thursday I forgot to pay. Why do you pay every Thursday? Because that way you turn your credit card into a debit card. Why do you pay every Thursday? Because then you get great credit because you're using your American Express card like it's a debit card. If you log in and pay every day, you're a little too crazy. But if you do it every Thursday, that's all good. What are we talking about? We're talking about repairing our brain from brain rot, which now is a fixed brain. Now we can fix our financial situation, which I just did, which was turn your American Express card into a debit card. This is also the honest thing that your real Chinese friend would say to you, which is this. You don't go 0 to 1 million when you're a female who owes almost $25,000 because you overspend and undersave. Step one is not getting to $0 because that is going to be the richest that you ever feel. Step one is not, let's meet a sugar daddy who's going to pay our expenses. This is why Shelby Sapp and I, blonde, future billionaire, mentally blonde billionaire, coincidentally said this at the same time I said it, which is your sugar daddy is causing you to go bankrupt. This is counterintuitive. This is why. When your sugar daddy gives you money, you're more likely to go bankrupt. Did I just say this so that way women would just pay for everything? Yes. But then it turns out it's true. Why? This is the easiest time it's ever been to make money because people are printing it out of thin air. You could see that as a negative, which is, oh my God, I hate the fact that rich people live in a socialist construct. I want to try capitalism for a first time. You could say that because I've been saying it. But what I also now do to repair my own brain is this sentence. Why don't we just stand closer to the money printer? Because that blonde that is seemingly fraudulently living an opulent lifestyle, that's actually not fraudulent. That's real. Larry Chang, runner of the channel called What They Don't Teach You in School. How in the fudge do I benefit from that? This is how. We realize there are two simultaneous worlds. Best of times, worst of times. There are two simultaneous economies going on right now. Socialism for rich people, bailouts for hedge funds. Socialism for poor people, except EBT is temporarily off. Capitalism for the middle class. Rugged individualism for the middle class. Larry, is this one of those conspiracy theorems where there's a secret war on the middle class? You said theorem. It's not a conspiracy theory anymore. There is an avalanche of evidence that the middle class is actively getting fucked. That's proven. Larry, is this a doom video? You don't strike me as a doomer. I'm a doer within the doom, which is why this channel is temporarily not popular. What's a doer within a doomer? It's stand closer to the money printer, do hashtag Web4, period. 3x Web4 is Web12. You see, there are two worlds, best of times, worst of times. There are two economic classes. People who live in socialism and get rich, people who live in capitalism and get screwed, and then people get confused. They're like, is this late stage capitalism? Blah, 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 blah. I explained it in one of my videos that got a single digit number of views. Is that an Easter egg? Oh, yeah. Larry, I don't want to have to research videos. Just tell me. Just tell me. Okay. This is your reward. Good job paying attention. Good job quietly paying attention. We can connect. That's my real phone number. We can connect. That's my real email address. firstname@mycompany.com. Larry, just tell me. Okay, I will tell you. Here we go. It's called K-shaped networking. It's where we're at a bus stop. Like this video, it's the loser's bracket at a bus stop. We don't look at the other people. We don't learn from the other people. We're barely learning from Larry Chang, top 8 smartest person in Silicon Valley, coming in at number 1. Know that it's not a black or white person talking that level of confidence. It's a Chinese person who went ahead and already said, hey, this is what I'm saying. It doesn't sound popular. Actionable doer doomer. It's this. Because it's K-shaped networking at the negative $11,000 in credit card debt level, trying to get to $0, this is what we're doing to network. We don't have to be in the loser's bracket. We don't have to look at rich people and say, fuck you, rich people, I hate you. We should tax billionaires. Because that will never work. I've already read ahead. That doesn't work. Plus, you're trying to do macro and you're trying to get more politically aware. And you're being forced to be political. And then that's their divide and conquer. We are solving brain rot. We are doing brain repair. We're not going to get parsed into, are you a tall man? Do you hate short men? Short men, do you hate tall men? Like, we're not going to fight over shorties shouldn't date tallies, okay? Like, she's a spinner and she's super excited about being a spinner. That's why 5'2" girls throw themselves at dudes that are 6'2" or higher. What we're doing is we're standing next to the tall economic people doing K-shaped networking. The phrase K-shaped economy, it's meant to demoralize you because it's not shaped like a K. It's shaped like a motherfucking Y. What's a Y-shaped economy? It's an economy that's going, and then for some reason it forks. One part of the economy becomes amazing. Hey, stop complaining about EBT. Don't you realize that the stock market is at all-time highs? That's K-shaped, where one part of the economy borrows money against their bullshit valued stocks, which Michael Burry just shorted. Other part of the economy is like, why is this steak cost $28? Which, by the way, if you're not buying ground beef from Whole Foods, you're being financially irresponsible. Because ground beef at Safeway, Dominic's Jewel, that ground beef is fraudulent because the price is artificially low. Now there's fraud in ground beef, which is pink slime, which is legal because the USDA, U.S. Department of Agriculture, they're okay with selling you poison. Is this chapter 8 of the Fiat Standard, fake food? Hey, did this Chinese cowboy just figure out why eating out tastes like mush? Larry, how do I escape the cycle of brain rot using Web 12? You'll never escape it because you asked the question yesterday, in addition to not texting, not emailing. 14 sentences from what you learned yesterday, Leroy Jenkins. I'm going to pin you where I wanted to time you out, but I'm going to pin you instead. Why? Because you don't believe in your 1% solution. So I'll see you here. I'm not leaving, but I'll see you here in the same economic condition in 10 years asking similarly low quality questions. Larry, where are your Beanie Babies? Show us your shred already. You can make fun of Ty Warner. You can make fun of Ty Warner. My friend, Ty Warner. We made fun of him. Ty Warner, he started the Beanie Baby Corporation. He goes, I'm buying a Four Seasons. And we're like, yeah. Are you even a billionaire? You don't spend any money. I'm buying a Four Seasons. Oh, well, enjoy the Four Seasons in Alabama. Okay? Kind of like an Econo Lodge. You said Beanie Babies. We're repairing our brain. We're repairing our brain. This is not a Beanie Baby. This is Hecklefish. Who's Hecklefish? I'll introduce him. It's already on your head, you retard. Can you focus on brain rot? Brain repair, making fun of Ty Warner. Hey guys, I'm going to buy a Four Seasons. Cool. Enjoy the Mississippi one. Enjoy the Mississippi one. We're in New York. The entire town is sold out because it's New York Fashion Week. The entire hotel sold out. The entire town of New York sold out. Focus on your focus. Focus on your focus. Come back better after your timeout. So, we're desperate. This is the methodology for getting a hotel room when you're homeless. Is you go to the nicest hotel you can find. Why? Because at the nicest hotels, the no-show rate is astronomically high. Why? Because they're full of rich douchebags who had something better to do than to come to New York for Fashion Week. And because it's a nice hotel, they're not fraudulently selling 130% of the hotel rooms, because you're going to piss a rich person off if it's one of those days where everybody shows up. in your mid-tier hotels, they'll sell 110% of the rooms. Why? Because every hotel is trying to maximize revenue. A rich person hotel, they already are maximizing their revenue because they're like, oh, would you like a hotel suite? $2,200 for a 400 square foot room. What? That's like 5x. Well, there's only one blah, blah, blah hotel. And you're like, okay, I got to stay there. So we walk ourselves into the Four Seasons because I have a stack of $5 bills and I'm willing to wait till 3 a.m. for them to open a room. So, what we're thank you for telling me that you're retarded and gay because you're trying to tell people in hotel restaurant management within the gay mafia and homosexual hoteliers, hey, I know about being retarded better than you do. We're at the hotel and they're like, well, we do have one room, but it's kind of huge and it's opulent. I'm like, how nice could a room be? You can't charge me more than 40 grand a night, right? They go, this is the suite that we have. It's the Ty Warner suite. I was like, come again? They're like, well, it's a suite. I'm like, no. What's the name of the suite? The Beanie Baby, our Beanie Baby friend named the penthouse in Four Seasons. He called it the Ty Warner suite. That's how I learned. That's how I learned that he didn't buy a Four Seasons in Topeka, Kansas. He bought the mother scratching Four Seasons in New York City at 43 West 43rd Street. What are we even doing here, Larry? I just want to learn about Web 12. Well, what we're doing is, can you connect M. Scott Pleck's book to what I'm talking about, connected to you getting 1% better, connecting to my bladder, which is about to explode. Let me release. Absolutely not sending you notes. What am I, your secretary? Your brain's broken. Come back with pen and paper. And also, weren't you supposed to email me notes or post notes to the YouTube comments? LJ, send me notes. LOL. Is this dude trying to play the race card? We in the comments are the same ones. What are we doing? We're going from brain rot to brain repair. I love that. I love that. Being able to pray the gay away. This message is held for review. Are you guys having a good time here? Comment, I'm having a good time if you're having a good comment. Don't be lazy and just put like 10 or 100 or emoji. Don't be one of those Gen Z pretenders that, oh, 6'7". Actually, 6'7" is hilarious. Do you like the October 15, October 6'7", or October 15, 6'7" meme? No funnier thing has ever been said. Wait, where are y'all here? I came because he called me a sex robot. What the fuck? Greetings from Scotland. Welcome. My channel's on what they don't teach you in school. Darn it. Some of these messages after a timeout, they got deleted. They were gold. They were gold. Solid gold. That explains so much that you're Middle Eastern. In America, Ohio is the Middle East. Kentucky, it's the Middle East. But we have such an aversion for shiitake that's Kuwaiti, Saudi, that we don't even call states that are the Middle East part of America the Mideast. We immediately just call it the West. Is that cowboy culture? Oh yeah. Because even Pittsburgh, which is solidly in the East, Pittsburgh people, they call themselves the Midwest. When you say, I want an apology, cowboy, you're showing that you're a man pretending to be a woman, pretending to be a man, pretending to be a woman, which is cool, which is why we can be fluid in our gender. But what we want to do is we don't want to go fluid in a way that is easy mode. We want the fluidity, dare I say, because I do dare say, gender reversal entrepreneurship exercises. What you're doing is you're succeeding with ethnicity crossover exercises. What's that, Larry? First of all, gender reversal entrepreneurship exercises is where you make your brain better by doing things of the other 72 genders. But let's say you only believe there are 2 genders. Okay, so whatever gender you currently are, you do the behavior of the other gender. This is the easy way. This is the brain rot way, which is, oh, you can't talk to me like that. Or, oh, I didn't consent for you to be honest with me. Or, oh, I have anxiety. You see, you can't be a man talking like a woman, because that's what's broken about social media, is you didn't ask me what my pronouns were. Because my pronouns are she, he, she, he, where you thought it was the male patriarchy telling you news, when it's actually pre-gaming work with gender reversal entrepreneurship exercises. Hey, Larry, what is ethnicity exercises? This whole video has been a ethnicity exercise, which is, can you understand deeply understood Chinese knowledge? This whole video has been a ethnicity exercise, which is, why do black and white people have a biological father that automatically takes off? Like, is it something that the black or white female did to make the father take off? Sins of the mother. This video bookends nicely. Why does this video bookend nicely? Because M. Scott Pleck, Life is Hard. Next section, Sins of the Father. Well, we're in a midst of a crisis. Sins of the Mother definitely chimed in. You guys have a terrific morning. Good job with your attention. Good job with your focus. If this content appeals to you, I don't care. Okay? I don't care about your watching one more Larry Cheng video. I want you to do a 1% solution because you spent like 60 minutes in here secretly. Maybe rewatch this. Maybe, you know what? Don't even rewatch this because it's a black screen right now and you were half paying attention. Reread your notes. If you didn't take any notes, go back to when you last wrote something down in your self-improvement journal. If you've never improved at a self-improvement journal, know that that's your trajectory. That's how to subscribe, which is, I don't need more Larry Cheng content because I say the same stuff over and over and over. You don't like it, you don't follow up, you don't think that Web 12 works, which is sum up this video in 14 sentences and email it to or publish it somewhere on social media. You don't believe in it. You want to go magically on a non-existent Middle Eastern, Saudi Arabian, Kuwaiti prince carpet ride because they're giving trips to that city in the Middle East, and then they make you do some pretty dark sex shit. Or you can just enjoy the journey of getting 1% better. I trust no one because I don't trust myself because my dad left. I'm not laughing at the fact that your father's absentee, but when the room is unmoderated, you just reveal who you are, and you want to reveal who you are. When you reveal who you are, now you get to win. I trust no one because I don't trust myself. What are your goals? I mean, you're in here and you're furiously writing notes. What are your goals? No, you can't call me. What? If you're not going to listen here, how are you going to listen on a call? Write 14 sentences to show me that the high school degree that you have is actually legitimate. Larry, are you on the toilet? Every one of your questions is low soc. Like you can't help but ask really low quality questions. When you ask low quality questions, you get shit results. Let me go over the garbage in, garbage out, GIGO, because maybe nobody's ever explained it to you before. You see, when you have shit questions, you're going to get poop answers. When you put garbage out of your mouth, which is, are you in the toilet? You're telling me that your toilet practice is low soc because socioeconomically, when you would visit the toilet, people would bully you and then cause you to eat poop, eat pee, or eat their pee-pee. How real did this video just become? How real did this video come? It's like prompts and data. AI is only as good as what it's fed. Julian, you should be rich by now because you ace it every time. Yeah, that's okay. There's there's an honesty in that. There's an honesty in that. Now you have bathroom issues. Now you've got issues about the bathroom. This is what I'm going to do for you, LJ, because you're charming and you are vulnerable and you're complimentary. I'm going to let you watch the rest of this video on Twitter.